Everyone, welcome to the Practical Gardener. So I have this beautiful Vanda blooming. This is a Vanda orchid. See this lovely color. I'm just trying to see what is the, I think I have the ID. It's just called Vanda Orange. If somebody is interested, so to buy. So it's called a Vanda Orange Orchid. And then I have a few more Vandas. Hopefully I'll show you some of the orchids that are blooming for me right now. Hold on. Okay, so we have the anthuriums here, which are slowly starting to bloom in all their glory. You can see this variety, and then there's this one. There are some geraniums as well. This is a different kind of a pink, a very dark pink, the whites, and then there's an orange here, and then more pink and white here. Okay, and then if you see the orchids, the ones that are blooming right now, these are the ones that are blooming. Okay, so with orchids, the key is not to overwater them, but at the same time not to underwater them either. So they love the humidity, but they don't like to be soggy. So I have a auto, like a sprinkler system, kind of. So when I switch on the sprinkler for the rest of the lawn, my orchids get watered as well. So you can just, you can have the spray from the top, and that's the way I have been watering them, and they seem to be doing well with that. So you can see this one. This is more of the compactum variety of dendrobium. Most of the others are phalaenopsis orchids. You can see some really pretty phals here and here. Here's another beautiful phal. Okay, a couple of ferns. This is another beautiful design. My ever blooming pink orchid. This one is the one which has the maximum number of blooms all the time, and my trusty whites. So interestingly, the size of the white blooms has reduced this year. Probably once the blooms drop, I'm going to start fertilizing them well and probably repot them. And that's also one way to tell if your orchids need repotting. If your bloom sizes reduce, then there is something, that is not working. Then probably it's a high time to kind of repot them into fresh pine bark. My orchid mix is very coarse. You can see it here, right? So you can see pine bark, or maybe this is a better one. You can see there's pine bark, there's a lot of charcoal, so you can see a lot of orchiata. I use orchiata pine bark for my orchids, for most of them. Dendrobium, sometimes I just use stones, of course, which means that you then have to fertilize them a lot more if you're using just plain stones. So I have a mix of different media that I use for orchids, but the key to remember is to keep them very, very loose. So use media such as pine bark, charcoal. You can use coconut husk, but not the powdered husk, but pieces, big pieces, or I think better to call it cocoa chips rather than husk, because husk will make the orchid soggy, and they don't like to be in soggy soil. They like to be humid, but they don't like their feet to be wet or the roots to be wet all the time. So these are the ones that are currently blooming. You can see some yellows on the top as well. Okay, all right. So my front section actually, so you can see anthuriums, and then you can see the orchids, and this is how I've kept them. Okay, so a quick digression. Look at this beautiful water lily, 2 yellows and 2 dark pinks here, and then the purple. Okay. Aren't they lovely? Okay, so wrapping up here.